My name is Longoria and this is my husband Dan Kinder. My husband has health concerns and we wanted to make sure that our life was taken care of in the event something were to happen, but also make sure that I had the power to be able to do anything that he needed me to do for him and not get blocked by a gatekeeper in the process. So Nelson Law made it super easy for us to get all of those details handled. Their paperwork is just so much more comprehensive. Their process made it so much easier and so much more complete. And I was like, well, let me maybe go to someone who specializes in this type of thing. So we weren't put off at all by the fact that it had elder care in the name. We recognized that people who are at the end of life are at a very specific stage. And we may not be at end of life, but we still have the same kind of needs as someone who was at that stage in their life. My husband had a stroke and lost a lot of his ability to speak. So nobody wants to talk on a phone with a healthcare or insurance representative when you can barely speak. And so I would get questions like, are you power of attorney? And the answer was, no, I'm not power of attorney. And so that just led to lots of complications when doing that. So the first step was just mainly getting the power of attorney, but we also recognize there's all these other pieces in place that are just good to have in order to make sure that I'm protected in his case, or even, something crazy happens that he's protected in my case. If you are financially able, it's very beneficial to have a trust put together, just like learning about all of the financial impacts of when someone doesn't have their assets in trust, or setting up their trust as a beneficiary of policies, which is basically what we're doing. I feel a lot better now knowing that things are not going to go into probate, and that making sure that we're both financially secure in the case of one of us passing. I somewhat knew that we needed to protect our financial assets, but I just didn't realize how easy it was with the trust to be able to, with the ability to put the trust as a beneficiary was the thing I did not know coming into this. That makes everything so much easier. And because we're having to think of factors like his disability, there's so many different financial factors you have to think of, and so learning about those was very beneficial.